Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous all that video, here we successfully complete all that our user related everything. So right now we can actually view all that user, you can add new one of the user, you can edit this user, and also you can delete this user. Right, so here we successfully complete our user everything. So now in this video I want to discuss about that user profile. Right now that is actually one of the user and I'm already logging with one of the user, right? So here I want to create one of the profile for this user. Okay, so then it will be actually interactive. So for doing this, into the menu area I want to add another menu. So if you want to add this menu, that is in our sidebar, right? So now go to our sidebar, and into the sidebar, that is our first menu as a manage user, and they have the another one, right? So they have the another one. I want to actually change it. So here I name it as a manage profile. Okay, I name it as a manage profile. And into the manage profile area, I want to take two of this field. One will be as a your profile. That means the user profile. Another will be as a change password. Okay, another will be as a change password. So right now we don't need this. I simply remove it. Okay, so here I have take two of this. One will be as a your profile. That means the user profile, which user is logging. This user profile will be visible. And another will be as a change password. So first of all, I want to create one of the route for view our this user profile page. So for the reasons here, I want to create one of the route. So that will be as a route. And into the route area, I want to create one of the route name, and I just put that name as a profile view. Okay, profile and then dot view. So this step up one of the route I want to create. So if you want to create this route, we have to go to our web, and to the web, and here I have created friend one of the group route, right? So right now I want to create another group for the profile. I copy everything from here, and that will be as a user profile and password. Okay, and the change password. So now I simply paste it. And now first of all, here we don't need this. Right now I remove everything. I only want to take one. First of all, this prefix for the user here, before I have created that user prefix. So right now I want to create another one as a profile. Okay, so now I want to name it as a profile. Okay, a profile or profiles, whatever you choose. So right now I name it as a profiles. And then into the profiles, that is our user group, and into the profiles user group, I want to create one of the URL. So better I want to use that as a profile. Okay, profile, and then I name it as a profile view. And now I want to create another controller for our profile, and I want to create this controller into the backend. Into the backend folder, I have already created one of the controller as a user controller. So right now I want to create another one. So if you want to create it, we have to go to our project. So that is our project, and that is our school project. So now I want to open that CMD, and then I name it as a PHP artisan, and then make controller. And I want to create one of the controller into the backend folder. Okay, into the backend folder, I want to create one of the controller name as a profile controller. Okay, profile controller. So this type of one of the controller I want to create. So now if you want to create it, now click as the enter. Now you can see our controller created successfully. That means right now if you go, and that is our profile controller. So our first work is we have to add this controller in our web. So into the web, first of all I want to add it. So that is in our backend folder, and our controller name as a profile controller. So right now I copy it, and here I paste it. Okay, so that will be in our controllers folder, backend folder, and that is our profile controller. So now I want to create our every method in our this profile controller. So into the profile controller area, I want to create one of the method as a profile view. So I name it as a profile, and then view. Okay, so that will be as a profile view. And then here I also want to update that name. So I have already put one of the name in our sidebar. So right now we don't need this. I remove it. Admin master, here also we don't need this. Web user controller, we don't need this. So to the sidebar area, and name it that our route will be as a profile view. So now I copy it, and now that will be as a profile view, right? Perfect. That means it will be as a profile, and then the view, that will be our URL, and then in our controller. As a profile controller, I want to create one of the method as a profile view. So now let's do that work. I copy it. Now go to our profile view controller, and here I simply create one of the method as a public, and then function, and then our method name, right? So that will be our profile view method. So into the profile view method area, first of all, I want to get all the data from our user, right? So I want to get this data from the user model, and then I want to get authenticated user data. That means which user is already logged in. This user data I want to take, right? So here, if you go to that user, so right now I'm logging with this admin. So right now I want to actually get this data. So here, that is our theme. So now I want to go there, and first of all I want to find out our authenticated ID. So I just take one of the variable as the ID and then the auth. So with this auth, I want to find out our user. So our user ID, I want to access our user table ID. Okay, so I take it and I just take the things with this variable. Right, friend? So in previous section, I have already discussed about that things with you. So right now I want to get all that user. I take one of the variable as a user, and then our user model. With this user model, I want to find a specific one of the ID. That means that is actually our ID. So this ID I want to find. Okay. So perfect. Here I get a specific one of the user ID data and take the things with this variable. And after that, I want to return one of the page. So here I return one of the view page. So I want to do into the backend folder. Into the backend folder, I have already created one of the that is actually backend folder. I have already created one of the user folder, right? So you can create another folder for this rather than now it's okay with me. Into the user folder, I want to create another page. So that is our backend folder, and then the user folder. Here I want to create one of the page as a view underscore profile. Okay, this type of one of the page I want to create, and then I want to compact all that our data. So here I have already get our user specific one row data, and I take the things with this variable, and now here I pass it. Okay, friend, and make that sure you use that auth. That means here you have to use it. That means use and the auth. Right, make that sure you use it. And also I have used that our user model, right? So if you want to use that user model, we have to also add it. That means we have to use it. So use, that is in our app, and then the models, into the models folder, and then our user. So that is our user. Perfect, right? So make that sure you add both of these. So now I want to create our this page. That means our view profile page. Now into the user folder. So into the user folder, I want to create one of the new file, and now I click as a save as, and I just name it as a view underscore profile dot blade dot php. So that will be our file. So first of all, I want to take some of the data like this one. Here, that is our form. We don't need this. Better if you go to that user view, and into the view user, here I have already load our user, right? So now we actually need our extended, that is the admin master class. So better I copy everything. I copy everything from our view user, and now into the view profile, I want to paste it. So here we don't need anything. That is actually our, I added already extended that our admin master, and that is our EL part. So that is actually contain, and that is our call 12, right? So now I want to actually remove this box. Okay, this box I want to remove everything. So that is actually the box. Here I remove it. Okay, so that is actually the maybe this one. So that is actually 1 2 3 and then the 4. That means 1 2 3. So here also we don't need this. So that is our this div and that is our row and that is our section and that is our first div and that is the last div. Perfect. So perfect. So this position will be needed. So here I want to load one of the profile. Like I just click as a save all. First of all I have to check it. I save all. Now click as a refresh. And now if you go to our manage profile, into the manage profile, that is our your profile, right? Yeah, perfect. Our sidebar, header, footer, everything is now perfectly loaded. So that is our EL part, right? So here I want to load one of the profile. If you go to our theme, into the theme, if you go to the pages, and if the pages area, that is actually the profile. You can see that I have also one of the demo for the profile. And with the profile area, right now I want to take this type of one of the things, okay, that the images will be needed. Then I want to display every information, so better I want to take it. I click as a inspect. Rather than you can also redirect it to the particular this profile HTML, and from here you can take it. So now I want to do and to select it. So here you can see right now that is actually our total selected. So that is now totally selected. So I want to do and to take this box. So I click as a edit as HTML, and now I copy everything. Okay, I copy everything, and now I close it, and here in particular that area I simply paste it. Okay friend, so that will be our profile. So now let's check this out. If you now click as a save all, and now if you go there, and now if you refresh it, yeah, you can see it's now perfectly updated. So that is the name, some of the designation, that is our floor. So right now here, whatever the data you want to visible, you can visible it as per your demand. So right now I'm already logged in, and here I have also get all the data. That means a specific which user is logging, this user ID, I take it, and here I find out a specific one row data, and I just take the things with this variable. And after that also here I pass it with the compact. With the compact I pass that data in our user profile. So now with this user we can actually access our this authenticated user data. Like I show you, if you now go to our view profile, into the view profile area, like that is actually the name, and there is also one of the background URL. So right now we don't need this background URL, better I remove it. Okay, I want to do and to actually remove total things from here. So that is actually the background. You can also use it rather than that is the name. So here I want to do and to visible our name. So with this user I want to do and to visible, with this user I want to visible our user table. Like if you go to our user and into the user table, and that is the name, right? So this name I want to visible. So if you want to visible it, that is actually the field name as a name. So now I want to name it as a name. Okay, so now if you click as a save all, and now if you go there, click as a refresh, yes, you can see now it's perfectly display that name. So right now I am already logged in with this admin, and this name is a admin. For the reasons you can see it's now showing as a admin. And also if you want to display the type, you can also display it like here with this user I want to do here we don't need this. With this user I want to use our another field as a user type. So I want to use that as a user and then type. So that will be as a user type. Now click as a save all, and now if you go there and now refresh it, yeah, you can see it's now showing as a user name, and that is actually our user type. So our type is the admin type, and that is actually our username, right? So if you want to make it a specific, you can also do it like better here. I want to little bit into the left side, and here I name it as a user name. Okay, username, and then that will be as a user type. Right? So here I add both of these. So now if you click as a save all, and now if you go there, click as a refresh, so now it should be visible. You can see it's now visible as a username as a admin, and user type as a admin, right? Perfect. And also I want to add another button for the edit this user. Okay, so here better I want to add this button. So that is actually our user type. Okay, user type, and after this I want to take another href, so which I have already added maybe into our list. If you go to our view user, into the view user, here you can see I have already created this type on the button. Better I copy it. I simply copy this button, and now after this I paste it. Okay, so that will be one of the button, that means href, and here we have to add on the route for the edit ones, and I just name it as a edit profile. Okay, I name it as a edit profile. So this type of one of the button will be display into the float as a right. Now click as a save all, and now go there, click as a refresh. Yeah, you can see it's now perfectly visible one of the button as a edit profile. And also here if you go, into the basically into the our user here they have not much information, so I also want to do and to add some of the field for this user, then it should be actually interactive, because I also want to add that user profile, that means user profile image will be visible on here, also it should be updated in particular that area. So right now there is only two data as a admin and the user type, and there is also email. If you want to add that email, you can also add it. Better I want to also add another one. I paste it, so that will be as a user email. Okay, user email. So with this user I want to access our database field name as an email, right? So that is actually the field name as an email. So right now I also want to do and to visible it. So now if you click the save all, so now everything, that means right now this all the data for our this user. So right now you can see it's now showing as the admin, there is a name, that means the user type, user email address is visible, which user is logging, so this logging user details is visible, and also they have some of the images. So that is actually the one of the images. So that is actually into the image I have already added this folder into the backend. So I also want to update this part. So right now I want to do and to select this one. So that is in our, first of all we have to add it into the asset, right? So now I just simply added that into the asset. So now that is actually the one of the image which should be visible. Now click the save all, and now if you refresh it, now you can see our this image is visible, right? And there is our button is little bit down. So here I want to do, I just cart it. Okay, I cart it, and after this, after our username, I just simply paste it. First of all I have to check it, is everything okay or not. Click as a save all, and now if you refresh it again, yeah, now you can see it's now perfect. So now that is our edit profile button, and right now that is actually the three information I have for this user. So I want to add another some of the field. I want to add another field for the mobile. I want to add some of the field for the user address, gender, if you want to add that image. So how can do that work? Better I want to continue this process in our next video. I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.